Hi guys, welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Thanks so much for hanging on with me and going through that wait. I never realized how anxiety inducing it is to sit and wait for that music to go and for the timer to count down. And I was like, it's 6 o'clock. Let's just go ahead and get things rolling. And then I forgot that I had to add myself to the stream, get things exactly where they need to be. And so thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm going to share that I am here because the very important people, Corey and Tiffany, are out enjoying themselves and taking a day off, which rightfully so. They do so much for us, and I really feel like they completely deserve it. And I was super happy to step in and provide whatever I can to support not only them, but you guys. So thank you so much for being here, for joining me. It's going to be a ton of fun, and hopefully you guys find a lot of value out of this. So when you think about attracting the right partner, of course, it can be multiple kinds of partners, right? So, partner in life, relationship, friends. In our case, we're talking about real estate investing. So, it can be attracting a finance partner, it can be attracting a managing partner. Whatever that looks like for you, there are steps to attract the right people into your life if you're doing very specific and intentional things to bring them to you, because you could work really hard by going out there to find them, by saying, oh my gosh, who should I connect with? Who are all the right people? Where do I find them? Where do I go? What do I have to do? Instead, you can attract them and they can come to you. And we want to make things as simple as possible, right? There's a lot in real estate investing that can get tough. That's what Corey and Tiffany are here for, is to help minimize the toughness and the mistakes, to help you guys through that process and make it really simple. I'm here today to help you guys to make that transition into seeking partners, and then attracting them instead of seeking them. So with that being said, I want to share with you guys the 6 steps that I've really put together that make so much sense in attracting not just partners, but really anyone that you want around you, who bring you life and bring you joy and help you to do more of what you really love. And I'm going to remind you, if you are new to StreamYard, please click on streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission so that I can see who is commenting and I can engage with you guys the way that you love Corey and Tiffany to do whenever they are around. So I'm going to preface it. Obviously, I am not a real estate investing expert. I'm not Corey and Tiffany. I don't have a pup named Chico. I do have a new pup named Eureka, and I have all of the scratches on my legs to prove it. She is a pup and she's still learning, but I did get a wonderful night of sleep last night because she's been very good to us. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the content. Yay! Hi guys, thanks so much for being on. Heather, Cheryl. Oh, another awesome thing, you will know if you're joining. Let us know that you're here. If you are joining us for the replay, #replay, so we can shout you out, say hello. All right, so let's get into the hot, awesome, fun stuff. So the first step to attracting the right people is knowing your environment. Knowing your environment. Are you at a live event? Are you doing this in your own space on a platform? Are you going out to hand out flyers? Are you sharing with other people your journey, your experiences? Are you on Facebook? Are you sending out emails? If you know your environment, you know what people are comfortable with, you know what people are expecting. Set those expectations, bring them exactly what they need. So everyone's starting to come back into live events. So I'm going to touch on that the most. If you're going into live events, you know that people are there to connect. They're trying to make connections. They're there to build relationships. They're there to network. And for some of you guys, the word networking is like, oh, I just want to lean against the wall and wait for my turn. You know, if someone comes up to me, awesome. But if not, I'll walk away quietly and not make a fool of myself. Well, you would be really surprised by how people react if you come up to them. and initiate the conversation. Because believe it or not, most people know how terrifying it is to start a conversation, right? It takes a lot of guts sometimes. And if you are the one to initiate it, people really respect that and they enjoy that. And what's more, if you come in with the energy of giving, the energy of sharing value, or simply just of joy, and you're radiating, I want to share, I want to connect, right, with my delightful spirit, people are going to be attracted to that, and they don't want to shy away from that. Or you can come in with the attitude of, I don't really know what to say, my hands are clammy, and I'm so nervous. If you are nervous, take that step anyway. Your body is going to put you into the right zone. All of a sudden, you're going to start saying the right things. Now, if things are really bad, if you've been drinking a lot, or if you're not prepared for your right environment, then there's a good chance you might slip and say something ridiculous. But we're all humans, and if you're in an event where there's networking and you're getting to know people and you're there to learn, people are understanding. So give yourself that grace, find the right energy, and then reach out to people who you have been looking to meet for a while. So with that being said, what does that look like for you guys? What is your environment? What are you going to be attending? Is it going to be more Zoom calls? I know that Summit just happened for Keyspire. A lot of you guys were there. The Investor Life Tour, guys, so many people showed up. That was so awesome. Thank you so much. When those events happen, how does it feel? What comes up for you? How do you prepare? Like, are you aware of the environment? Did you bring drinks, your chairs? Did you make yourself comfortable? Or did you bring like things that are inappropriate, right? There are things that are meant for certain places and things that just aren't. So things that start a conversation, that's perfect. Things that are conducive to making you feel comfortable, that's great. Know your environment. All right, let's see. Hi, Japita, Tammy, thanks so much for joining. All right, awesome. Yes, networking is very important, Facebook user. I appreciate that you acknowledge that. And I think that a lot of Facebook users appreciate that networking is important as well. If you don't mind clicking on streamyard.com/Facebook and granting StreamYard permission to see your name, I will know who you are and I can speak directly to you. That would be super awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So share with me where you guys are going to be going, what networking looks like, what that specific environment for you is going to be like. And I can speak more to that. But I know that a lot of us are going back to in-person connections. And that's the thing. Know your environment. How are you connecting with them? And set those expectations, right? Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments, and I'm happy to respond and give you the best advice that I have. I personally love to network. I love to network. I love to talk to people. I love to just be around people. It gives me really great feelings, and I hope to share that with everyone else whenever I'm in the same room as well. All right. So the second tip I have, second step for you guys, and none of these are in any certain order, but the second one is get familiar with the people in attendance. Now, there's only so much you can do to get familiar with the people in attendance. However, now that communities are very popular, being online is a really good place for different venues and events to bring their people together so that they can start conversations beforehand. It's really good to know who's coming with you. Find friends that are coming, right? And if they aren't friends that are coming, make friends. Connect with people, build that relationship and that rapport before you even see them. Then you've already established something. Then you can go into the event with someone you already know. So you have that comfort level already established. Like, that's one of the best things that you can do is know who's there. Get familiar with them. If there are guest speakers, if there are breakout sessions, if you can know more about them, If you can find something really special that you can connect with to them, maybe you guys went to the same university, maybe you were from the same town, maybe you have children with the same name. Find something that connects you to someone who is in attendance. If it's a speaker or someone you admire, all the better, but something special that connects you to them so that you can start that conversation immediately. You guys can relate to each other and it's flowing and going well, and your nerves are not stopping you from starting that conversation because you have that entry point. You were prepared. You knew who was going to be there and you knew how to start that conversation before it ever became a reality. All right. Hey, doing fearless. I'm on the right track. Awesome. I'm so glad that you are on the right track. Another Facebook user. Guys, so many of you guys are here. I really appreciate it. I absolutely love you being here. If you're just joining us, these are the 6 steps to attracting a partner, and we're speaking about events in this instance since people are starting to travel again and the borders are opening, which is awesome. Unfortunately, you guys are not open to US folks just yet, but once you do open up, oh my gosh, you can bet I'm going to be there. But that's what we're here for today. We've already hit on 2 different points. The first point, know your environment. The second point, get familiar with the people in attendance, the speakers, all of the experts. If you know those things, it's going to really help you to get the conversation going. If you're joining us in the replay, say hello with a hashtag replay. If you need to catch the beginning of the session, you can find this video in the group. It'll be in the announcements, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can send you the link. All right, so hi, Donna. Welcome. Thanks so much for coming. Okay, so if you guys don't have any questions about that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to step 3, and that is to bring your best. All right, let that soak in for just a moment. Okay, is it soaked? It's in, right? Okay. All right, what does your best mean, guys? Your best means bring clothes that are comfortable, absolutely comfortable. You can look really good in certain clothes and not feel comfortable. Bring your lipstick, your makeup, your brush, bring your shoes that you love, bring whatever it is that you need to feel comfortable. There are some things that might make you feel comfortable, that might be awkward. However, if it's a conversation starter, it's awesome. For example, if your teddy bear or your stuffed animal makes you feel really comfortable, probably not really great for a networking event, but it's a conversation starter. If that's you, take that and make it your thing. Own it. Own it. Bring your best self, the most energy that you can give you and everyone around you. You guys, it goes such a long way to be comfortable and happy where you're at right now to be able to give to others, because that is your best self. Where you're at now, what that means, what you love to wear that makes you feel super comfortable. If you love your hair in pigtails, if you love your hair with a certain shave, get ready for that event. Show up in your best way. Because if you prepare that way, your mental game will come. Some of you guys, if you know yourselves well enough to know that it takes an internal thing and you have to feel good internally, and it doesn't matter how you dress, then get that ready, right? If it takes meditation, if it takes just affirmations or mindset work, having conversations with your friends to say, hey, what are you planning on doing? How are you going to show up? What are you going to wear? Sometimes wearing the same thing as your friends or your partners or your teammates, whatever it looks like, will help you to show up at your best. But showing up at your best is going to help you to start those conversations, going to help you to open those doors. Open those doors. I'm practicing using my hands when I speak because I know that it really helps people to understand things better. So hang with me as I'm trying to figure this out. So, open doors. Okay, so that is the third step, guys, is bring your best, whatever it takes to get you to your highest energy level and presenting your best self, you gotta do it. All right. Let's see. Um, Lipstick won't work in your case, but you're not opposed to try it. Okay, I'm assuming that is a guy, a dude. I'm not judging. I'm just going to assume if that is the case, yes, if you show up in lipstick, people are going to look and they might start that conversation, ask you what kind you're wearing, or ask you what inspired you to wear that lipstick, right? And that can be your conversation point. There are so many different things that can help you to start that conversation as long as you own it. You take full control of what it is that you're bringing to the table. All right, so that was step 3, bring your best. Step 4, have an entry point ready. Okay, what does that mean, having an entry point ready? Is there something that you see them wearing, something that they're doing, something that you may have seen previously, that they were talking to someone, if you saw them on Facebook or online somewhere, if you saw them at a restaurant before the event, if there is something that you can connect with them to relate, that entry point will help to start that conversation and get things going. So, if you can't find something that you can relate to, bring value. Always be prepared with value. A lot of times in these real estate and networking events, most people will have shirts or they'll have a lanyard. There are things that will tell you and indicate where someone is, what they're searching for. If they're searching for a finance partner, a managing partner, whatever it is, there's a good chance you can find it on something that within their attire. So find where you can connect to them and start that conversation, and don't be afraid to do it. Again, that little piece, the value, the point to relate with them, or even if you know someone who can introduce you to the other person, that would be really helpful. Or if you overhear someone in networking events, it's usually acceptable. Most of the time, it's not great to eavesdrop, but networking events, people are open to it. They're expecting you to connect with them. If you hear a specific problem that you have an answer to, step in and say, "Oh my gosh, I heard you were having a problem with this. I found this program that's super awesome. It saved us so much time. And I think it would help. If you're open to it, I'll send you a link." Right? And that's a really great entry point. So if you have your entry point ready for whoever it is that you want to speak to, most of these events, you have opportunities to connect even beyond the event. So if you can't do it then and there, open up their conversation through Messenger and say, "Hey, I saw you here and I heard that you had this problem. I'd love to help you with it. Or maybe if we can chat over Zoom or over dinner or lunch." So, yes, bring value for sure. There's a lot that you can do to get that entry point and open that door. All right. So, guys, I've been doing so much talking. I want you guys to share your best tips before I continue with any more tips. What are different things that you do, tips that you can share to others, or things that you do for yourselves that help you to step into these networking events and really make the most of those opportunities. So, what is it that you do? Do you just prepare in advance? Do you bring your best clothes? Do you have your one line moneymaker ready? What does that look like for you guys? So I'm going to wait and see what kind of tips I can get from you guys, because I know that you guys are awesome. You just came off of the tour. You have events all the time. You host them and they're super fun. I haven't been to most of them, but I've seen pictures and I know we've got a really awesome crew here in Fearless. It's continually growing, and I know that there are going to be things that I myself have not thought of, and I'm always open to learning. So please feel free to share your experiences and what you've discovered, what you've encountered, right? What you've done that's worked really well, what you've seen other people do that's been really awesome, or even things that you shouldn't do. If you've seen people do things or try things that you're like, oh, it made you cringe, and those are good things to know as well. That helps people to, again, make the most out of these situations and attracting the right partner. Okay. So I don't see any of your comments, guys. I don't see anyone commenting with the right things to do or anything like that. Let's see. Okay. I might just have to move on, but that's all right. Okay. All right. Guys, I'm going to keep going. I hope that that means that you're finding value and that you want me to just keep going. And if that's the case, that's cool. We can do that too. Oh, Angie and Andrew, thanks so much. Okay, I think it can help to identify your goal for networking. What do you want to get out of this event? Yes, that's actually a really great one. What your goal is, to know what that looks like. Am I going to connect with 5 people? Am I going to connect with 10? Am I going to just start 5 conversations? Am I going to set up 5 phone calls? What does that look like for you guys? So if you have a goal in mind, that can be so helpful. Thanks so much, Angie and Andrew, for joining and letting me know what helps you. Robert, I can only share tips that were not successful. Okay, what didn't work for you? Maybe we can work it out and we can see how we can tweak it to make it work better next time, right? Or we can say, "Oh, I saw a friend do this," or "I saw someone else do it." You don't have to. You don't have to say that you do it. It's okay. But we're not judgmental here. We're here to have a great time and to learn from each other. So share anything that you need help with or that you want advice on. If we want to tweak the process to make it an easier and simpler entry point or a simpler time, right? Because we're talking about attracting the right people, attracting the right partners, and it all goes along that same process. If we're doing the right things, if we're just taking that opportunity, even if we're doing the wrong things, knowing that it's the wrong thing, and going and tweaking it and making the changes so that it turns into the right thing is very important, right? Like that aspect of just going out to try. And we talk about that very often as real estate investors and trying these different approaches to finding the right partners or raising money, the way that we approach the different opportunities and properties that we have that we want partners with. There are different things that you have to try. And in order to find the right way to do it, you have to try different things. And sometimes it's going to be things that don't work. So let's see. Yes. Hi, Danielle. I am doing the training today because Corey and Tiffany are enjoying some time off, which they completely deserve. And I really hope they're having a great time and not worrying about whether or not I'm flubbing this up for them. Because even if I do, it's okay. But I'm having a really great time. And you guys are so awesome as always. I'm going to go ahead and continue and go on to the next step and the next point to attracting the right partner. So, step 5 is remember to exchange contacts, right? How are you going to connect with them? Is there already a community base where you can find each other? Or is it exchanging phone numbers? Is it texting each other immediately? Is it opening a QR code that you created? Is it taking a selfie just so you remember each other? Or maybe you know each other and you live nearby and it's scheduling a lunch. Having that handy is so important. Exchanging contacts so that you know how to follow up later, right? So that's something some people don't think about. They're having such a great time. They're going out, meeting people, and then at the end of the day, they're like, "Oh man, I was talking to that lady with the blonde hair, and we were talking about Edmonton and how awesome it is to invest there. I can't remember her name." Well, for the Investor Life Tour, it was one time that they stopped in each location. So you don't have that opportunity to see them the next day, to ask them for their contact information. So if you don't connect then, if you don't find a point to say, "Hey, let's connect here so we can keep in touch," you've lost that opportunity. In most cases, you've lost that opportunity. Now, what's really cool about what we have set up and what you guys are doing is we have a community. In most cases, you can find the people that you see in live events somewhere else. But in the event that you can't, remember to find a way to keep that connection. Yes. Did I already say selfie? Yes. A selfie is such a good idea. I absolutely love selfies. I'll share something. So back in April, I went to a trip. It was seeing a lot of my business friends, and I was so nervous. I really was so scared to take selfies with everyone. It just I don't know why. It was a self-conscious thing, I think. And so I ended leaving the trip without a lot of photos. And I kind of was like, man, I could have taken a lot of pictures with some really great people that I truly enjoy being around and love, that I can look back and appreciate later on. So for my trip that I went to here recently, a couple of weeks ago, I did nothing but take selfies. I literally pulled out my phone like every chance I could and took selfies. I took so many pictures, so many pictures. And guys, that's just a really simple way to do it. You have your handy dandy phones on you all of the time, right? So use them to your advantage and make it an easy process. It doesn't have to be hard. Yes, Priscilla, how do you guys gather boldness to make the first step to approach and invest? Um, okay, so gather the boldness to make the first step to approach and invest. I'm not sure which side you are speaking of, Priscilla, in the investing money and finding and attracting partners who have the opportunities, or if you're talking about investing the managing aspect and finding the person who is providing the money. Regardless, gathering the boldness to me is still a skill. It's something you have to work on every single time that you go up to someone, every single time that you start a conversation, every single time that you share about what you're going through in this process of learning more about real estate investing, the opportunity process, the process of finding good, viable homes to invest in, all of the steps that you're taking to share is a step in the right direction in becoming bolder and becoming the person that you want to be when it comes to real estate investing. So, for me, I would say just start that conversation. Share that first thing that has to do with real estate investing, how you're learning, how you're expanding your opportunities, how you are the right partner for someone who's in this specific space, someone who's looking for turnkey, someone who's looking for buy and hold, someone who's looking for RTO. If you know what you want to work on and what space you want to be in, and you're talking about it and it brings you so much joy and you share that with others, then people who are looking for those opportunities come right to you. They know who to go to because you're always talking about it. So that's what I would say in terms of gathering the boldness to approach and invest. So it's just keep doing that next thing, starting that next conversation or sharing about your journey. All right. Awesome. I hope that that helps. Um, Angie and Andrew, being bold is easier when you feel confident. Build your confidence around what you're doing. Absolutely. That is exactly what I would add to what you asked, Priscilla. And that's a really great, taking a selfie is a really great way, is a really great way to build confidence. And that confidence really builds up your boldness. Building that confidence takes me back to those steps of knowing your environment, getting familiar with the people, bringing your best. So, all of the steps that I've talked about already, having that entry point, all of those 4 steps that I've already mentioned will take you to that boldness, will bring you that confidence that you really need to make the most of the conversation that you're about to start or the networking environment that you are in. All right, guys. I think it's a great time to get to number 5. Oh, I already got number 5. Number 6. Number 6. So, number 6 is the follow up. Okay, how many of you guys knew that that was coming? Because if you did, high five, great job. Yes, the follow up is so important. The follow up is essential because you could have made 100,000 really awesome conversations and connections, or just 10. Whatever that number looks like is irrelevant if you don't follow up. None of that matters if you don't follow up. Now, if you felt really great about those connections, that's great. That's awesome. And that high is going to last you for the next few days, maybe the next couple of weeks. But if you don't follow up, they don't remember you and you don't remember them. And then you're essentially starting over at every single stage. You're starting over at every event. And nobody wants to do that. We don't want to start over every single day that we're doing something. We want to build on what we've done. We want to make the most of the work that we're putting out there, right, guys? Like, I know that you guys want to exert less effort and get more out of what you do. And if that's the case, follow up. Have a procedure for following up. What does that look like? If you're taking phone numbers, send a text, give them a call. I know people don't do that very often anymore. So surprise them with a call. Sometimes it's procedure to text and say, hey, do you have a few minutes? Let's chat first, which is cool. Send them an email. If you grab their email, send them an email. If you grab their social media information, connect with them immediately. Send them a message and say, hey, it was so great to meet you. And bring up a specific something that you guys talked about that will help them to remember. Oh, yeah, that's Angie. Oh, yeah, that's Rio, right? That is so important, you guys. Start that follow up process and continue to follow up. Now, when you follow up, it's not just like, hey, remember me? Great to meet you. It was awesome, fun. Yeah, don't do that. If you're going to do that, you may as well not follow up. But then you shouldn't go to the networking event to begin with because there's no intention behind that, right? It goes back to what Angie and Andrew mentioned, having that goal. If you have that goal, I'm pretty sure it was Angie and Andrew. I'm sorry if it was somebody else. But if you have that goal, that means you are coming in with intention. So you want to have a good follow-up process regularly and with meaning, which means how can I add value? How can I further connect with them in a deeper, more meaningful level so that when there is a need for anything, when they need help with anything, or when they have something to give, something to offer, they think of me first because I genuinely care. Because I want to know what's going on in their life. I want to know their goals. I want to learn more about them, right? There are so many different opportunities to reach out and deepen that connection so that that relationship doesn't fall flat and you don't lose the new relationship that you just built. Because a lot of work went into preparing for this event, a lot of work went into getting there. A lot of these events aren't cheap. And that makes sense. That's okay. They're bringing the right people. So once you're there, attract those right people to you by doing all of these things and keep them attracted to you, keep them connected to you, right? So if that makes sense to you, please let me know. I would love to understand where you're at, anything that you would add, any other steps that you would take to make sure that you're attracting the right people and you're making the most out of your experiences, wherever it is that you're at. If it's live, if it's on Zoom, if it's in um, any social media channels, if it's by mail, whatever that looks like, does this make sense to you? And does this resonate with you? What would you change? What would you do more of? What would you do less of? What would you do less of? All right. Thank you so much. That's something I'm working on. Do you mind if I reach out later, Priscilla? Oh my gosh, no, I don't mind at all. Please reach out. That's what I'm here for. So I'm absolutely here to support this community and I'm here to help you guys. It is really important to find your confidence to be able to attract the right people. Because if you think about it, everyone that you are attracted to are people who you think have it all together. They're walking their walk. They're talking the talk. They're talking the, you know what I mean? They're doing their thing and they're doing it with such a vibrant essence. You are attracted to them and you want to know what they know. You want to do what they're doing. You want to explore more of whatever they're getting themselves into, right? And so that means you have to bring your confidence, bring all of those tips that I helped to share with you guys today. So, what's the next step? What does that look like? Guys, it ties in so well to what's coming up. And if you haven't already heard, boot camp is coming. And not only is it coming, it's free to you guys. It's free to everyone in Fearless, all your friends and family members who want to learn more about real estate investing. And I would really venture to say this isn't just about real estate investing. Boot camp seriously helps anyone who is interested in starting a business, not just in real estate investing, a business anywhere. Why? Because it gives you the exact tools to start those conversations. It helps you to develop that boldness and that confidence in yourselves to get going. So earlier, Priscilla asked, how do I get that boldness to start investing and start those conversations? That's how, is you start with a group of people who are doing the same things, who are going through the same struggles, who are fighting the same battles. Connecting with people and understanding that you are not alone really helps you to build up those courage bones and get out there, right? Wherever it is you are on your journey, boot camp is perfect for you, because if you're new, oh, it's going to be a great kickstart. But if you've been doing this for a while, it's going to be a great way to reignite exactly why you're doing this. If it's getting hard, exactly why you would stay in. It's going to reinvigorate you to be in this process. And the reason why I know this works is because there are so many members that are in this community who have taken boot camp. I mean, 3 or 4 or 5, 6 times. They've been a part of boot camp every single time because it is so rejuvenating. And to be honest, Corey and Tiffany really bring their best. They bring their best every single week, but in boot camp, it's just different. It's a different vibe. It's a different feel. And when you connect with all of these people who have had the same purpose, the same goals, who know that this journey is going to be for your time freedom, your financial freedom, more time to spend with your family, more time to spend with all of your loved ones, more time doing more of what you love. When you can connect with others who have that same goal, it's so inspiring, and it really encourages you to go ahead and take those steps and get started. Like I said, if you're already in it and you just need to be reinvigorated, this is the perfect time, you guys. Yes, please register for bootcamp. Thank you so much, Rio. The workbook is already out there, so grab your workbooks. And guys, please, okay, I love selfies. I've already mentioned that. Take a picture of yourself with a workbook or your laptop or computer and share it right into the group. We want to see that you have your workbook. We want to see that you're ready and you're amped for bootcamp, because we are. That's why Corey and Tiffany need a break, because they're going to get all of their energy ready so that they can give you guys more than their all when boot camp starts on the 22nd. It's going to be so much fun. If you haven't been at boot camp before, you're going to absolutely love it. And if you don't, I'll give you your money back, guaranteed. Good thing you're not investing any money. But you know what? It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. When we do it in Fearless, and it's free, and there are so many people involved, it's seriously the energy. It can't be relived, and everyone gets better and better. So you guys, register for boot camp. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. I want to recap for you guys what we went over today. If you're joining in the replay, #replay. But if you need to find the copy of this, the replay, it'll stream and start right over as soon as I end this live. So you can catch it on the replay. But make sure to comment so we know, and I can answer any of the questions that you have even once streaming ends. All right. To go back through these steps, I think I saw a question come in. Oh, thank you so much, Carlene. Thanks for joining. All right, so to attract the right partner, 1, know your environment, where you're going, what the context is, what the surroundings are, how is it going to be, what are they expecting, what are you expecting? Knowing your environment, how to show up is very important, number 1. Number 2, get familiar with the people. You can do research on guest speakers, on experts, on anyone hosting the event. And a lot of times you have a community to go to full of people who are attending the event. Get to know everyone. Start those conversations even before the event so that you're comfortable before the event starts. That's number 2. Number 3, bring your best. Bring your best clothes, your best self, your best shoes, comfort. Make yourself feel comfortable, feel good. If it takes just working on your mindset and exploring the possibilities of connecting with new people and leveling up, right? Whatever it takes, bring your best self. If that means you have to eat clean for a week, if that means getting enough sleep, whatever that looks like for you, get exactly what you need so you're prepared for that situation and for that moment, right? So bring your best. That's number 3. Number 4, have an entry point. How can I relate to this person? I really want to meet this person, but how do I start that conversation? If you have something that you can find in common with them, great. That's number 1. If you can bring value, that's number 2. Or if you can just give them a compliment on something that they did, something that they're doing, something that they're wearing, something they said, that's number 3. Those are 3 really easy steps to have your entry point to get that conversation started and going. Oh, thank you so much for sharing the steps, Carissa. I appreciate it. Gosh, guys, this is part of the reason why we can do the things that we do is because we have such an incredible team at Investor Life. Thank you so much. All right. So, number 5, remember to exchange contacts. Take that selfie, grab their phone number, text them, call them, email them, connect with them on Facebook. The event that I went to a couple of weeks ago, immediate, I'm like, hey, do you have Facebook? A lot of them are on Instagram, so I need to work on my Instagram game. Find a place where you can connect with each other and follow up. Follow up is our last step. It just makes sense. It all comes together really well, right? Find a way that you can connect immediately and then follow up. Follow up regularly, not just right after the event. Follow up a few weeks later and say, hey, how'd you do during this holiday? Or this holiday is coming up. Do you have any plans? What does it look like in your area right now? What are you hearing? This is what I've heard, right? Things that show that you care and you want to improve and nurture this relationship. All right. So bonus. Okay. I have bonuses for you guys. Clear out your nerves. If it means sitting quietly with yourself for just a few moments before an event starts, that's what you do. If clearing out your nerves means you just quiet your mind and stop telling yourself all these negative things, that's what you do. If clearing your nerves for you means taking a spa day, getting your nails done. My nails are not done. My nails are kind of pretty. But anyway, my nails are not done. Whatever it means for you to clear out your nerves so that you can feel good and you can take step 3 into mind and bring your best self. Now, in my group, Linda Graveline, oh my gosh, she's so wonderful. But Linda and I have been talking, and Melanie Robinson dances, right? Sometimes clearing out your nerves means just getting up and doing a little dance, right? It means getting up and just shaking the nerves out, physically getting it all out. Like, bye-bye, nerves, right? That helps. Another bonus tip, bring a friend. Oh my goodness. For most of us, it's so much more comfortable to have someone we know right by our side supporting us. Even if we are both super timid introverts who don't like to talk, when we're together as a pair, it makes it so much easier. So if you can bring a friend, that can really help you to step up and be your best self so you're attracting the right people. Another tip that our Ignited members have done that we absolutely love and I forgot about for a while actually, but Ray and Joe brought cookies, homemade cookies that Joe made. The bomb. Like they handed out to people. Who can forget that they brought cookies? And Sean and Trevor at the time brought fortune cookies. They had fortunes created in fortune cookies related to real estate investing that were really hilarious and why you should invest with them. Like, I absolutely loved it. Everyone loved it. In fact, um, they were recognized at the event. So, you guys, there are lots of different ways to really show up at your best and attract the right people to you without you having to go out and look for them. But that means you have to be familiar. You have to show up at your best. Being familiar doesn't mean knowing everything. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know all the right things to say. But being comfortable, being familiar, removing the nerves, all of those things are really going to help you to attract all the right people. Yes, treats. Thanks so much, Carissa. Absolutely. So, those are all exactly the things that you need to attract the right people, the right partners into your opportunities, into your business, into your growth that also helps them to grow, which I think is so beautiful about real estate investing and the joint venture journey and raising capital, all of that, because it benefits not just one person, but it benefits multiple people. And it's a really beautiful relationship if it's done right. So I hope that those tips really helped you guys. I hope that you found value in it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you want to take these steps and put it into a meaningful place, please register for a boot camp. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks, and we are so thrilled. Corey and Tiffany are very excited about it. We absolutely love it every single time boot camp rolls around because it's so much fun. It is a lot of work for us, but goodness, it's so much fun that it's worth it every single time. And thank you so much, Helen. I appreciate you joining. But yes, I hope that these tips serve you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. If you have other tips to share, the more value to bring to the community, all the better. I know that I don't know it all. I know I don't have all of the tips in the world. And I know these aren't the only things that help you to show up at your best and attract partners. But these are some really great things to start with, right? So finding those elements, putting them into practice, is really going to help you to do exactly what you're here for, to make that change, find those partners that work for you, that you can help work for as well, whatever that looks like in your journey. And I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. All of our Ignited members, we have a really special guest. Sean is going to be talking about multifamily and hopefully not too much of himself. I'm there to help regulate that. We love you, Sean and Karen. You guys are wonderful. But yes, so we will see you for laser at the top of the hour. Guys, it's been so much fun. Thank you so much for being patient with me and being here and joining me as I do this by myself and get over the anxiety of the start music because, gosh, my heart started racing and I was like, oh my gosh. 3 minutes. I have to wait for 3 minutes before this stream starts. So I just went ahead and started. I hope that's okay. We started at 6, which is great. Well, 6 for me, 5 for some of you guys, and 7. And then for us folks in Nova Scotia, I think it's 8 o'clock for you guys. So anyway, thanks again for joining me, you guys. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I appreciate you. You have a great evening. Ignited. I'll see you in laser. Bye-bye.